Welcome to Just the Tips, the show where we deep dive into the cool waters of Virgin Island.
It's episode 4, and today we're talking all about the body. Our islanders are stripping down emotionally and physically. I'm Chris.
And I'm Rebecca. Let's get physical.
First up this week, we see a workshop where the islanders have to strip down completely naked in front of a mirror. Now,
yes.
My initial reaction is one of panic.
Oh my, yeah, even for me, I would panic. Like, it's a very daunting experience.
We get horrible messages about our bodies. There's so many ways in which we think, my body isn't right, my body isn't enough. And then we're supposed to go out and enjoy pleasure in our body. It's quite impossible, actually.
So the body shaming and things definitely do start with us. As Danielle said, you can't feel shame and then give your body to somebody else. It's very hard to do. And I think a lot of time, we're not taught to love ourselves. We're not taught to love our bodies. We're not taught that these little marks and stretch marks and things that we've got are normal. So a lot of the time it is fake it until you make it, which I think obviously standing in front of a mirror and telling yourself that, you do love your body, is sometimes you are lying to yourself, but you need that to shift something in your brain, because everybody has to live with their body forever.
Yeah.
And if your brain hates your body, you're not going to be able to pass that on to somebody else.
Absolutely.
People expect me to be really confident and just strip off and not care, but the truth is it took me 3 years to do one of my videos naked. And my videos are all about being naked. And it wasn't until I got surgery that I felt a bit more comfortable. I'm not going to say very comfortable being naked. And people think I see myself naked all the time. The only things I see are the photos, which I edit. I would never, ever watch a video of me back. I couldn't do that.
Ever?
No, I think if I did that, there's a chance that I would criticize myself so much that I would walk out of this industry altogether and be like, it's not for me, I can't look at myself. So even as somebody that does this for a living, it's still very, very daunting. And I think if I had the experts helping me love my body, then things would have been very, very different for me as well.
Being comfortable while being naked around something is so important, but it does take time. There's a lot of pressure to look a certain way on social media and everything, and you might think that you look like that, or you might not, and it's literally just raw, natural confidence that you need to have in your body to feel comfortable around someone, and you need some reassurance from them as well.
I think it takes a lot to be comfortable around another person, isn't it? If you're going to be naked in front of them, I think you should be comfortable in your own skin before expecting someone to do that.
It does take me time to get comfortable and show my whole body. It's a big thing to me.
And trying to get rid of that shame about your body is so important for your emotional connection. You can't emotionally connect with someone and start to create an intimate relationship if you're having sex in the dark the whole time and so consumed with how you look. You've got to be able to have confidence.
Definitely a lot of it is mentality, because like I've said before, if you don't have the love for your body, you're never going to. It doesn't matter how you change it, what you do to it, it's always going to come back to haunt you. I've changed so much of my body, and I can safely say that I felt a lot more confident in posting pictures of my body back before I had all this surgery than I did now. But then watching social media and being on social media so much, I started to believe that my body wasn't good enough. Now, even though I've had full mummy makeover, I still don't believe it's good enough. There's always going to be something else, and that's because I've not worked on the emotion. I've not worked on the mental side of it. I've only worked on the physical side of it, and it's really good to see that people, are trying to work on the emotional side of it first.
Definitely. We were then treated to quite a full-on demonstration from the sex coaches of a vulva and a penis up close in Technicolor. What did you make of that? That felt quite detailed.
I think it is probably one of the better ways to get education around, the genitalia, because you can see these two-dimensional pictures and these labels, but there's nothing quite like actually seeing it. The only problem is people just show us one kind of sort of vulva and penis when they are all so different.
Yes.
And I think the islanders need to be aware of that as well, because I grew up very self-conscious about my inner labia being longer than the outer labia. And if we're just showing people one type of it, then you may feel that there's something abnormal with yourself. I mean, in school, all we ever saw were textbook photos and things, and they were very neat and everything was, and then you start to think, well, is it okay? Why? Obviously all vaginas look different, all penises look different. So I think as well as just showing them just the one demonstration, we need to show them how they can all be different. I say get loads of vaginas and penises.
I know, but maybe for the islanders, one was enough for the first one.
Maybe.
And maybe homework for next week is to see lots of different vaginas. But I definitely agree with what you say. I remember my sex education being minimal to none. And then growing up, I mean, I don't have sex with women or people with vaginas, so I had no idea about the anatomy of a vagina at all.
I think as well in sex education, men are taught about men's genitalia, women, you're taken into separate classrooms. Women are taught about women's genitalia so that you know yourself, but we're not really shown how to pleasure each other. We're taught the safety of it, put on a condom for STIs, pregnancy, but we're never actually taught pleasure. It seems like it's a subject that we shouldn't be talking about, you know, as a kid, but I think it's really important because a lot of people are getting self-confidence issues around it, which is obviously holding people back, and this show proves that exactly.
I don't think I've actually ever taught anything except just strap up and, you know, wear a condom.
So in school, it was very basic. I mean, it started in primary school, I think year 6. Girls were in one room, boys were in another room. We learned about our anatomy and what sex is, sort of what happens during sex. I don't know what boys were taught.
In school, we were taught about pregnancy, very basic. We were shown a video of childbirth. We were taught about ways to protect ourselves within sex, so condoms. We were taught how to put a condom on a plastic penis, which didn't even resemble a penis, and then that's honestly it. We were taught about consent on a very basic level, but there was, to be honest, it wasn't really much. I think I've learned more about it through the internet than I did at school ever.
I think it is important. As an outsider, a vulva looks quite complex, and I think having, do you know what, here's this and here's that and this is what you need to do, I think is really important. Because what I've heard is that a lot of people don't know their way around it. So, I mean, a penis is pretty self-explanatory, but... I
don't know, because people say that, but we don't, I don't know how
I suppose you don't
feel.
know. Yeah, fair,
Do you know,
fair.
Like it said in the show, people expect it to be sensitive. I did.
Yeah.
I was very gentle. Oh, be very careful with
Fine,
it.
yeah.
And then I got
sometimes
some
you
man
can...
bite it. I'm like, what?
Whoa.
Bite
Yeah,
it.
don't bite mine, but yeah. Hey now.
But that's it, we're not really taught the pleasure. We're not,
Exactly.
But then again, every partner is different. So what one partner might like, another one wants. So it's probably a one-to-one with the partners that is needed.
Agree. And I think the anatomical tour that the Islanders got really kind of showed that that's something that is maybe quite normal when you have a new partner. As we've been saying, every penis, every vulva is different, and that kind of chat, however maybe a little bit awkward, is kind of necessary and totally normal to have with your new partners.
Definitely. Even with me, it took quite a while for me to be able to just fully get naked in front of somebody. I think we all find little loopholes where you don't have to quite be seen. So turning off the light, doing it under covers, keeping on a t-shirt, something like that. So I think for the experts to stand up and just strip off completely, it showed the Islanders that it's okay. It's allowed. You're allowed to do that, and you are allowed to feel comfortable in your own body. And I think that's the best way to live, because if you're living in fear that you can't get naked or be seen by somebody that you love, then that's going to be really detrimental to any relationship.
Totally. And another barrier broken down by the sex coaches.
Yes.
Go on, the sexperts.
My perception of myself can be vastly different to how other people see me. I feel like I'm trying to really just be as fearless as possible, putting on what I call the Charlotte show.
Ooh. So there was a really interesting part with Charlotte where she said that she puts on the Charlotte show. I guess that's her defense mechanism, not wanting to be herself. Do you do that? What do you feel about that?
Yeah, hearing Charlotte saying she hides behind humor to hide her insecurities, I didn't know this was a therapy session for me this week. I can relate to that in every way. You know, humor's always been a defense mechanism and a survival tactic for me, not only when it comes to sexual intimacy but vulnerability, friendships, at work. And sometimes it is really hard to turn it off once you've created this, you know, cheeky, happy.
I think the majority of my online persona is not me. That obviously I enjoy comedy, and that's how I started doing what I'm doing. But then people didn't really tap into and buy comedy. People didn't want that. So I had to find a way to monetize what I enjoy doing, and what sells is sex. It doesn't mean I'm comfortable with doing that. So I changed my entire personality. I got everyone thinking I was the biggest raging slut going. Like, that's what I needed to do to make money. And it worked. Everybody thinks that, and I don't mind that people think that because that's what I want them to think. But what's hard now is meeting people in real life. So they're expecting me to be outgoing, you know, a bit feisty. I'm not like that. I'm nervous, I'm shy when I meet new people, but I get people coming up to me in the streets asking for photos and they expect me to be so bubbly, but I'm just a bit nervous. I don't dress how people expect me to. People expect me to be out in lingerie all the time.
Of course.
I wear baggy clothes mainly. And it's hard to come out of it because people have seen me online first before they've seen me in real life. So they've already got this expectation. I just fear that I'm going to disappoint everybody because what they've seen is not actually me.
And the act or the personality persona you've created has made you successful, and maybe Charlotte has created this Charlotte show, and that, you know, helps her make friends and, you know, keeps her liked at work and, you know, helps her in some ways of her life, but then maybe she's finding it hard, and we can all find it hard to switch back into the real you, or being vulnerable with that one person and wanting that one person to see the real you and not the persona of you.
But it's also hard with Charlotte if she says she's done the Charlotte show, and with me, if I've been successful pretending to be this person, or people liking this person that I'm making up better than the actual version of me. So definitely hard to switch back into that one.
And just keep breathing. Know that you are safe here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We did it.
But then we saw her kind of break through and push through that worry that she had, and she had a great one-to-one session with Andre. She stripped down emotionally and physically, which was the theme of today. And I feel she's made some real progress, and she really warmed my heart.
Yeah, and she looked great as well. She was really confident. It took time. It took a lot of talking, communication. But obviously the experts make them feel like they're really, really comfortable. So well done to Andre for that one.
Well done, Andre. And if you ever want to help me strip down emotionally
and physically,
I think having humor or having a persona, that's not a bad thing, but the challenge comes from when you need to switch in between the real you and the character you.
Yeah, and that's my problem as well, because obviously online I use filters. I use this humor as a defense mechanism, makeup, eyelashes, hair done. And if you're getting into a relationship with somebody, you have to fully strip back. I'm talking, they're going to see you raw. I think it is possible to be in a relationship, but you either need to talk and communicate to the person that you're in a relationship with, explaining that, you know, you've used this defense mechanism for that long that even you don't know who the real you is anymore. I think what I do is I over panic the situation so much so I think people are going to be so disappointed when they meet me, but they've never actually been disappointed. I think a lot of people that have met me, it's been a sigh of relief. It's been like, oh, thank God she's not actually that much.
Extreme,
Yeah, and you know, then they see, oh, there is a caring person there, whereas you don't see that online as much. You see me naked, and they see bits of me that I haven't portrayed on social media, but these bits aren't necessarily bad. They're just the bits that don't make the money.
Of course, well, and then the bits that maybe you save for the genuine people in your life. The actual, they're the more precious bits that you only want some select people to see.
Yeah, it's like breaking down a wall. You get a gooey soft centre if you manage to do it.
Exactly.
And that's all we have time for today. We'll be back next time when we finally reach the big O.
That's an orgasm to you and me. See ya.
Bye.